Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. This is A.L. Johnson with A.L. Johnson Life Insurance Agency, and this is the A.L. Johnson podcast. Today, I've got Mr. Cortez Springer with me. He is the owner of Monetize My Life Academy. He's also the admin of the page Financial Health Mentor with over 120,000 followers. He teaches entrepreneurs how to digitize their business and seek their ideal clients online. How you doing today, Mr. Springer?
I am doing extremely well, AL. Pleasure to be here, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's jump right into it, man. Tell us a little bit about Financial Health Mentor, Monetize My Life Academy. What is it all about?
So I have a history in direct sales, or what most people call MLM, or them pyramid things, right? And one thing that I learned through that whole process is a couple of gentlemen who came up in the insurance industry, in fact, came up through A.L. Williams. And one of the things that they learned to get more insurance clients is to help people look at their tax withholdings. And they found out that most people had their tax withholdings filled out incorrectly. They were overpaying in taxes. That's why they didn't have any money left over at the end of the month. They use it as a strategy to help people free up cash flow to be able to afford life insurance through their agency. But then they took it a step further and realized that the tax code is written primarily for business owners, by business owners, and to benefit business owners. And when they start to understand the differences in the tax code for business owners, and then particularly those who have home-based businesses, they started this company. I start learning those strategies, start teaching them as the financial health mentor, helping people start home-based businesses, and then leverage the tax code to reduce their taxable liability, and then take that extra cash flow to start investing. So that's where the financial health mentor came from. I did it so well online that I really fell in love with the marketing and branding side of entrepreneurship. And that later led me to launching my own digital marketing agency, Local Biz Marketing Pros, as well as Monetize My Life Academy, where we help individuals who have intellectual capital, who have knowledge, expertise, experience in certain areas, and we teach them how to create digital products based on that, giving them a home-based business so that they can then get on the right side of the tax code.
Can you go into a little more detail about the tax code? Because I believe a lot of people don't completely understand that owning a business and the write-offs that entails, and how that can really keep more of your money in your pocket.
Yeah, so again, you have to realize when America was founded, though the founding fathers who came here, they were all entrepreneurs, right? And they were trying to get away from a system that was unfair, because in Great Britain, you only had landowners or lords, and then you had everybody else, basically servants, right? So when they came here and established free enterprise, they said, listen, in order for this country to grow, we need gross domestic products. We need entrepreneurs, people who have that ingenuity to create stuff so we can sell stuff. And in order to incentivize them, we're going to give them tax breaks, right? So when you have a business, you are contributing to the gross domestic product of the United States of America. Therefore, you're going to get tax breaks, especially if you have a home-based business, because when they started to adjust the code for any entrepreneur, you literally have, like me, I'm in my home studio right now. So a part of my rent is a tax write-off every single month, right? I'm using my earbuds, my cell phone, my laptop, my electricity. A part of that stuff is a tax write-off every single month. When I was working a full-time job, I could complete my form W-4, which is the tax withholding form that every employer gives their employees, to reflect that I'm a business owner, and fewer taxes will come out of my paycheck, in essence, increasing my take-home pay on my job. And I could use that to continue to grow and invest in my business. And that's what they created the entire tax code for. Now, most people don't understand this, AL, and they don't want to hear it either. But everybody in America is born an entrepreneur. Your social security number doubles as an EIN. Now, the penalty you pay for not exercising your birthright to be an entrepreneur is high taxes.
Wow, wow. I think that's probably the best that I've actually ever heard that explained. So I definitely appreciate that. So the Monetize My Life Academy, as you said, you teach just the average person how to take whatever experiences they've had in life, knowledge,
Mhm.
expertise, and turn that into some form of a digital product. Is that generally in the form of ebooks, courses? What does that look like?
All of the above, anything digitized. So if you think about it, you have an expertise in selling insurance, right? And I'll tell you what changed my life. At about 6 years ago, I heard Trevor Otts, founder of an organization called the Black CEO, right? He said, "There's more in what you know than what you do," right? Really profound, changed the way I think about everything. So take yourself, for instance, you have the ability to write insurance policies, sell insurance, and explain what insurance is, the benefits of all of that. Now, I don't care if you wrote a policy every hour, on the hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's only so many policies that you can actually write because of a time constraint. But if you take that same knowledge and you put it in a book where you're teaching other life insurance agencies how to be as successful as you are, and especially if you do it in an ebook, maybe you do it in a video course, you do it in an audio course, you do it in an email course where they're getting this content on a drip over a period of time. There is no limit to the amount of ebooks or courses you can sell, where there is a limit to the amount of actual policies that you can write.
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. So, what is it that inspired you specifically to want to help others do it? So, you could create your own digital products, which I know, of course, you do. But what inspired you to show other people how to do the same?
Well, I think in America, we are at a strong disadvantage when you go through the American school system, right? I like to say it like this: the game is fair, but at the same time, it's rigged, right? How can something be rigged and fair? Whereas rigged in the sense that the tax laws are benefiting business owners, landowners, and investors. It's fair in the sense that anybody in America can become one of those three people. You can buy a piece of land, you can become an entrepreneur, or you can become an investor and take advantage of that tax code. But some of those ways that you can get into those other sides of the tax code have a high barrier of entry. When I started doing this for myself, I realized that me and you talking right now and me sharing this information can literally become a digital course, can become a digital product. Therefore, if you didn't already have your own business, you can package this up, present it to the marketplace, and just like that, you're a business owner. And now you can take advantage of all of the tax laws that are available to any business owner. And that's going to help you build generational wealth if you leverage the newfound cash flow properly. So I saw myself uh, being in a position to help heal some of um, the challenges that we face as Black people in our communities, and all of it is around money or lack thereof. Right? Kanye West said it best: "Having money is not everything; not having it is." Well, if you become a producer versus a consumer only, you stand a greater chance of of achieving financial freedom and success than any other way. And creating digital products based on something you already know is by far the lowest barrier of entry into entrepreneurship. So I just couldn't keep that to myself.
Love it, love it. And I know you've been doing this for a while. I've been watching your page, Financial Health Mentor. You leave a lot of tips and strategies, great interviews, etc. Um, what did COVID do for your business? Because I know a lot of people, went into entrepreneurial pursuits during that time because they were locked down. They didn't have as many options outside of the home. How did that change or grow your business?
It didn't change it very much because I was already 100% an online business model. It grew it because, to your point, when everyone went through that first quarantine and the uncertainty that showed up in everybody's lives, it caused them to reevaluate everything. Even those like myself, when I had COVID, I was like, man, I got to get my stuff together. So people start to reevaluate their lives and what was really important to them. And they realized that time with family is higher on the priority list than going to a job that doesn't necessarily care about them. Because what we saw was employers like, man, get y'all butt in here. I don't care that the boogeyman is outside. Get in here and go to work so we can make this money. And people just were not feeling that. So they started seeking out other ways to create an income for themselves. And so my business in 2020, I probably made more money that year than I had every other previous year because of that fact. People were literally online. And Forbes had predicted that by 2025, the online education space was going to be a $1 billion per day industry. This was pre-COVID. Since COVID, they haven't redone the numbers, but I think we're already at $1 billion per day because everybody is trying to go do some self-study and some self-education, and digital products put you right in the heart of what people are actually looking for. And believe it or not, people are searching for and making money from some of the weirdest things that you wouldn't think that someone would be looking for, but it's out there. So whatever you're good at, whatever you love to do, then you should strongly consider turning that into some sort of digital product and seeing if you can extract some of that 1 billion per day.
So you said you've seen some weird things. I've got to ask. I know you've helped a lot of entrepreneurs get their businesses started. What's the strangest or off the wall business that you've seen someone digitize and be able to be successful with?
So I didn't help this person personally, but one of my virtual mentors, Sunny Leonard Doozy, she has a way bigger program than mine, but she has literally helped people make money teaching hula hooping, right? She's helped people make money teaching shy people how to dance and be their authentic selves in social settings and stuff like that, right? It's all sorts of stuff that people are really interested in learning how to do, and they're just trying to find the person who can teach them how to do it. So who'd have thought there's a market for learning hula hooping, right? But there absolutely is.
For sure. So for people that are watching this and they say, wait a minute, I do have a skill set or a talent or I have a story, what will be the next steps for them? How do they get it started?
I think the first thing you have to do is identify what success actually looks like for you, right? A lot of times we want to be successful, but we don't have a clear target of what success actually looks like. So if you get clear on what success looks like for you in this new endeavor, that's going to help you tremendously. Then you understand why you're wanting to do it. That's also a huge component. And usually the why is related to something that you overcome yourself. So a lot of people who are working with me and building these businesses based on a passion or gift or a talent is because they solve a problem for themselves and they know the pain of not having a solution for those problems, and they just want to help other people avoid that pain. So the next thing would be is identify who you want to serve. Who has the problem and how do you intend to help them? So if you have a solution, it does you no good unless enough people in the marketplace have the problem that you solve. So getting clear on your idea of success, getting clear on why you're trying to do what it is that you want to do, and then who you want to work with or who you want to help, and the problem that you solve for them. Those are 4 critical elements that you got to absolutely have clarity on.
So you talked about people creating additional income online. So someone's working 8 to 10 hours a day. Maybe they've got the weekends off. What does the time commitment look like for someone to make something out of an online course?
To be honest, man, this is so fascinating to me because I know the type of person that you are. You've studied your industry, right? Think about if your parents or my parents wanted to have a side hustle in the insurance space 20 or 30 years ago. They literally could only do it after 5 p.m., right? Because they didn't have the technology. Well, today's technology allows you to build a business while you're actually working. With some of the systems and things that we provide for your Monetize My Life Academy, your business is literally running in parallel 24 hours a day, 365. But time commitment wise, from your actual input, I tell everybody, if you are not willing to find 10 hours a week to improve yourself financially, then you're in trouble, right? I ask my people all the time, what do you really want? What are you willing to give up to get it? And how much time are you willing to invest, right? How soon do you want it? So depending on how soon you want it, you might literally want to burn the candle at both ends. Hey, I'm gonna do 40 hours in my job, and I'm gonna do 30 hours in my business every week. But I would say at the bare minimum, you should be looking to invest 5 to 10 hours per week. And that 5-hour mark is critical because it's what makes the difference between the IRS considering your business a hobby versus considered in a full business. If you're doing at least 5 hours per week and you can document your activities within those 5 hours related to business, then it's no longer considered a hobby. So you got to be at least in that 5 to 10 hour range. And then the actual number will be determined based on how fast you want to see those results.
You know, one thing that I love about online business and online marketing is there are very few barriers. I saw you made a post about a new program that you have for people who may have been incarcerated in the past, and they're trying to make a good income. They're having trouble finding jobs due to their criminal record. Can you tell us about that program and what all it entails?
Yeah, so this is a bit of a higher ticket program, but it is literally, I believe, one of the reasons I've been called to this planet during this specific date and time. We all know that the school to prison pipeline is real. We all know that mass incarceration disproportionately affects our community and therefore gives employers yet another reason to discriminate, as if being black and brown wasn't enough of a reason, right? But now you got that F on your record, and it's hard to go to school. It's hard to get a job paying a decent wage to pay your family. If you've been to prison and you've got kids, chances are you're a little behind on child support. So working a minimum wage job is not going to let you feed yourself today, take care of your family, and catch up on the back child support. So to your point, nobody does record checks when you go file your LLC at the Secretary of State office, right? To start a business. There is no barrier outside of your own individual belief system and mindset. So our Fatherpreneurship 101 course is dealing specifically with those fathers who are not, and I want to make this clear, this isn't for fathers who are complaining about the system. This isn't for the fathers who blaming the white man for not being able to take care of themselves. This is for the fathers who are doing the best that they can with what they have, and they have a hope for the future. They just haven't found their lane yet. So what we do is we help them identify a gift, talent, or skill set that they currently possess, or one that they are willing to pursue to learn and pick up a new skill. Then we help them build a business and a brand around that thing. See, one thing that I know about wealthy people, AL, is that they find one or two ways to get paid for one or two things that they already love to do. And then they build a brand and a system around it. And that's exactly what Fatherpreneurship 101 is going to be all about for these guys. Some of them are excellent writers. Some of them are excellent teachers. Some of them are trainers, sports professionals. Some of them are good with working with the youth. Well, how do we build a program around that where you can still work your job, even if you're not getting paid as much as you know that you're worth, but you can add an extra $1,000 to $3,000 of monthly recurring revenue to your household to help you overcome some of the financial challenges that's causing our brothers to live under a tremendous amount of stress even though nobody's talking about that, right? Nobody's talking about what it means to be a man in this society and not be able to be gainfully employed and be living under a mountain of debt, whether that debt is from a consumer debt, whether it's from child support or what have you. So I believe that God has given everybody a gift that they can use that will make room for them. So we help those brothers identify those gifts, help them build a business and a brand around it to bring an extra $1,000 to $3,000 a month into their household. And that, in my opinion, is probably the fastest way to get the transformation that they want to see without them being drawn back to the street life that's going to basically just keep them in that revolving door in and out of prison. So we've got to make way for these guys to literally do the right thing, and it's got to happen for them relatively quickly. Otherwise, this MC8, the hood took me under, that's real. And if I can't find a way to feed my family legitimately, the pressure of not being able to do that will cause me to go back to doing things that I know work, things that I know, even though they're high risk, I know I can go do X, Y, Z and bring a bag home to my family, and want to keep those brothers out of that cycle.
Man, I definitely commend you for that. And I like the number that you threw out there, $1,000 to $3,000 a month. I remember reading a statistic during the recession of 2008, 2009 that said the average family that lost their home to foreclosure was $500 to $600 a month of a shortfall. And so when you say $1,000 to $3,000 a month, that's awesome. A lot of times when people think about online marketing or starting an online business, they see these figures, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. Can you speak to that $1,000 to $3,000 and how important and life-changing that can actually be for the average person?
So if the average person is working a job and that job is taking care of their bills right now, but chances are they can't pay that extra on the interest on their debt, so the debt is not necessarily going down. They don't have the extra to be able to comfortably, like for me, I was a youth basketball coach. I have 5 sons. So for me, the job paid the bills, but it really didn't afford me the ability to be on 2 traveling teams with my sons, which I did. And not to advise anyone to do this, but I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. I was using the mortgage money to make sure that they had good experiences and that they learned lessons through sports and all that kind of stuff, because early on I didn't understand how to generate that extra revenue. But if you got a job that you're living paycheck to paycheck right now, but it's covering, you're making it, well, an extra $1,000 a month, you're talking about inside of 3 months, you got a mini emergency fund of $3,000. So now if something goes wrong, you're not stressed about it. You got inside of 6 months, you got an extra $6,000. So now you got extra money to literally start paying down the debts versus just paying on the debts. Think about a father who has maybe $20K in back child support. And the job that I'm working on, because they're taking it out, it don't seem like it's going down, but now I got an extra $1,000 a month I can throw at that thing. At the longest, we're talking 20 months and my child support bill is gone, right? So just a little bit extra helps, man. And a lot of people, when you have that 10K, 20K a month goal out there, it seems so insurmountable or unattainable that people will not do the work to get it. But if I can show you that, hey, you've got a $500 program that we put together based on your skill, all you got to do is figure out a way to sell 2 a month, right? That's more feasible. That's more tangible. That's more relatable. And you going through the process of selling 2 a month, eventually you're going to get good at it. And now you're selling 4 a month. You're selling 6 a month. So doing the same work. And here's the thing. You're doing something you love and you're making money based on something that you do and that you do well. And one of the things that we're missing, AL, in this society is a sense of pride and fulfillment in what we do. And I know you experience it every day, man. You write a policy for someone, you get them covered, that sense of fulfillment that you know you've impacted somebody else's life. You know you've done something significant. Most of us don't have that. We're going to a job that's creating products that might be killing the masses, products that aren't healthy, aren't safe. They're not looking out for our best interests on the job. And that beats us down at the core of who we are. But you add to, like, I don't make a boatload of money, but I make enough of an impact in the lives of other people that I jump out of bed every day versus regretting to get out of bed every day. And I think when you can help that light come on for other people, and they can find something that they can feel proud to own, like their own business, I think that changes the game for the society at large.
That's huge, man. That is huge. You know, I was looking at the median 401k balance for someone who's retiring. It's around 120,000. And so when just using the figure of $1,000 a month, 12,000 a year, if someone were to invest that average stock market return of about 7%, they would have over 165,000 in 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And
amazing.
then you add to that, because most of these guys want to build a legacy for their family, and I'm talking about a real legacy, and we hear that term, I mean, all over the place, but they want to build a legacy. Now, even if they never put another dime in that thing and they let it compound for the next generation, for the next 30 years, what does that become? And then if you study wealthy people, you put half of it in the trust for your children, the other half goes to the grandchildren, and it compounds for another 30 years. What does that become in 2 generations? But because we don't have a plan, we don't see ourselves being able to execute something that can create generational wealth, we have that YOLO mentality. Oh, you only live once, man. I ain't making a dent in building a retirement for myself, so I'm just gonna kick it, have fun, and let the next generation worry about themselves. You give a man a business and you give a man a plan, some coaching and some mentorship, it's amazing the transformation that you'll see in that man. And we've seen it in our young people on the streets. The business they were in was just illegitimate. You take the men today who have that same desire to build and leave a legacy and give them something real that they can execute on, not based on something that they don't like and they regret doing every day, based on something that they would do for free anyway. That's how you transform a community.
Love it, man. I can tell that you have a real heart for the community and helping improve the lives of others. And so I ask everyone this exact same question. I'm really curious what your answer will be. A genie's lamp just fell out of the sky, right in your lap. You're able to rub it and you get 3 wishes. These 3 wishes have to be improving the community. And so if you had those 3 wishes, what would your 3 wishes for the community be?
Number one, and I just have one, right? I would wish for Black people to be the number 1 employers of Black people. Because in that one wish, our entire existence on this planet is different. And here's how. In order for us to be the number 1 employers of our own communities, that means we have to be making something, right? That means we have to be producing something and not just consuming. And if we are producers of something, chances are, because we are employed by our own, it's going to be easier for us to purchase the things that we produce when it does come to consumption. I believe that everything else fixes itself if we fix our own economy, and that economy gets fixed by us becoming producers. There's 3 million Black-owned businesses in this country. Only 190,000 of them have employees. So 2.8 million Black-owned businesses are solopreneurships. That's why we're the number 1 most unemployed group of people on this planet. If we were the number 1 employers of our own, we wouldn't see crime in the way that we see it today. Crime is a result of a lack of resources and a lack of opportunity. I'm going to take yours because I don't see a way that I can get mine. But if we were producers, we would have employment opportunities for our own. So crime would be non-existent. If we were producers of our own, our school system would be for us and by us, and will teach us to be who we need for us to be able to employ ourselves, right? So I think everything changes when we get this economic situation right. If you think about it, we have literally dominated everything that we have ever put our minds to. The last frontier for us is economics. We put our mind to money in the same way that Tiger put his mind to golf. We put our mind to money and entrepreneurship and enterprise in the same way that Venus and Serena put their mind to tennis. Are you kidding me? That would be my one wish. And then I don't know, wish two would probably be to live around to see that and enjoy watching that for 40 years or so. And then wish number three is that I have the impact that I know that God has called me to have on my community. So if my third wish is that I'm as successful as my potential says I could be in making a positive impact on my community.
Love it. Love it. So for the people that have been tuning in and watching, I know they gained a lot of great information. How can they get in contact with you, and where should they follow you?
Well, I have a daily show called the Cortez Hustle Show. So if you just follow the Cortez Hustle Show, that would be absolutely amazing. If you are the type of person that says, you know what, I've been looking for someone to help me get these ideas out of my head and actually execute them. Monetize My Life Academy is an amazing community of entrepreneurs and an ongoing mentorship program where we provide the tools, the templates, the training, the resources, and support of other entrepreneurs doing the exact same thing to help you be successful. And we actually have a $1 7-day trial. So if you go to monetizemylifeacademy.com, you can test drive the system for 7 days. If you like it, it's $97 per month. But watch this, AL. We give you 3 different ways to make it pay for itself. So if you're a little strapped for cash, jump on the $1 trial and let us help you in those first 7 days. Create the revenue that you're going to need to pay for the monthly subscription, because I know that's a challenge with us. We tend to see monthly subscription as bills and not investments. But at some point, you got to invest in yourself, and Monetize My Life Academy is a great program for that.
Awesome. Listen, I thank you so much for coming on. You shared a wealth of information. Go and follow Mr. Springer at Financial Health Mentor. Check out Monetize My Life Academy and tune in to the Cortez Hustle Show Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm A.L. Johnson with A.L. Johnson Life Insurance Agency. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next broadcast.